Hey everybody, it's Chris with Life 180, and I am here with Nick Obi again from Avery Insurance and mine, Lifestyle Risk Management. And so this video, as you can see in the title, is talking about how you're managing your insurance and is how you're handling your personal insurances in alignment with the results that you're going for in life. If you watch this channel a lot, you understand that I'm all about, like, let's not look at rate of return. Let's think about return on result. Let's not think about, just the returns in your investments and the policy. There's way more to thinking about money. And I think we've all been duped to think about, like, giving money and putting money in ways and thinking about saving and dealing with insurances and expenses in ways that we lose control of life, we lose control of our money, we lose control of creating the results in our life. And so I'm really big on believing, like, whatever you do it with a specific intent. Whether you're saving in a whole life policy, whether you're investing it somewhere, you're buying crypto, I don't care what you're doing with your business, do it with specific intent and make sure that the metric that you're measuring isn't what's my rate of return, but what is the result that I'm getting out of this, and is it getting me closer to where I want to be, right? Mm-hmm. And so with that said, when it comes to your insurance, I think it's important to look at it and say, is my current insurance plan, my home, my auto, my umbrella, like everything that goes into it,
yep,
is it in alignment with where I'm looking to go, where I'm trying to get to, right? And the question is, like, how do you even know, right? Like, if you're a person, like, how do you know?
You don't.
And when do you pivot? Like, how can you find out?
Right.
If you don't, like, how can you find out? How can you do an assessment and find out?
Yeah, so there's, a couple of thoughts. One, the industry has, essentially made it a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
And so people, when you think about a commodity, you don't think of it as using it to get where you want to go.
Right.
So that's a problem within how we've kind of all been trained and conditioned, which is what you talk about a lot on your channel with a lot of the stuff that is out there, why people do it.
Yep.
It's just because, right? Somebody told me to do it, so that's what I do.
That's true.
And we've all been there at some point.
Yep.
So understanding, the strategies around it and how, your insurance ultimately is a risk transfer tool. So how can I transfer risk in my life to an insurance company to get to a place that I want to be? And by doing that, what does it allow me to do, right? If I've transferred a significant amount of risk, maybe I can enjoy certain hobbies more and not worry about them. I can. I won't be derailed from a business venture if I'm dragged into a lawsuit because I was in a car accident, or my daughter got in a car accident, or we talked earlier about hitting something with a golf ball. All these,
totally.
There's all these things that there's so many threats to your lifestyle and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. And if one of those things actually happens, it could derail you. And that's the part I think, around the lifestyle risk management. There's probably too much mismanagement.
Mostly mismanaged.
But the goal is to get from mismanagement to risk management.
Yep.
And really understand.
Ooh, that's a good funnel. You got to use that. Yeah, man, I like it.
Thought of that on the spot. So really taking that and understanding, where am I trying to go and how can I protect my current lifestyle, but where I'm trying to be. And I think a lot of us, with anything, you study, whether it's ways on how to make money, or you study other people that have been there before, and the luxury kind of insurance market, some of the high net worth individuals, they're insuring their lives differently than kind of middle America. So understanding how they're doing it and what steps you can take to kind of proactively drive that. And then, to your point, I think it all ties together. If you're thinking like that, if you're acting like that, it's going to help other areas of your life.
You're being intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the statement, anything measured improves, right? And so if you're being intentional about it, if you're being focused on measuring, and I think we talked in another video, and I'm not sure when these are released, but what's being released when. So make sure you watch all the videos I've done with him. I'll create a playlist for this. But we talked about the importance of using a local agent, because there's going to be, you're actually going to be able to manage your portfolio. It's not going to be on this auto renewal status.
Right.
And so when you do that, you're able to manage it. And then in that annual check-in, you can actually communicate no differently than you would with a financial planner, advisor, and asset agent, infinite banking agent, somebody like that. it's no different than that, where you have that annual check-in and be like, okay, this is why I did this. This is what my objectives are. This is the result that I'm striving towards. Is this in alignment with where I'm looking to go?
Right.
You're not going to get that by going to Geico and Progressive and like any of those companies.
No, you won't. It's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And really, it's two parts, and that's where the lifestyle risk management piece is understanding what we're trying to do with our lives. What do we like to do?
Yeah.
How do we protect that element of it?
Yeah.
And what's the strategy we're going to use to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then insurance is the second component to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a risk transfer tool to do that. Now, there's other ways you can do it. You have estate planning.
Mm-hmm.
You can use LLCs, corporations. There's a lot of different components to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where people get stuck in the insurance companies you mentioned, they're just talking about the insurance side. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
you have something, you have a car, you have a house, here's a product to insure.
Sure.
That's fine, but that's not, to your point, that's not very intentional,
Yep.
right? What is my lifestyle? What am I trying to accomplish on a big picture?
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to do to protect that and keep it moving forward? And then go out and find solutions. One of them,
Yeah.
a great tool, is insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like that's the end game,
Mm-hmm.
and people they're starting at the end, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
just buying the product and they're not understanding why they're buying it or what
Yeah.
they need to do. So once you understand why, it makes the actual process and the strategy a lot simpler.
Stop looking at it like a necessary evil
Right.
and look at the benefits that it actually does bring to your life,
Right.
and how it protects kind of everything you're trying to create, right? That's what it comes down to. So
Yeah.
anyway, I know this is short and sweet, but I think it was just something that I was just thinking, how do we take the concepts of this and, focusing on intentionality, focusing on, our people, because I talk about it in every other facet,
Right.
of money. And I know that insurance is one of the most inefficient places people are dealing with, because I think there's a lot of overwhelm. They think of it as this necessary evil. They don't know what they're doing. They react. They're not proactive about it. And when you do that, you end up with spending more money, not having a plan, everything's disjointed, lots of inefficiencies, money bleeding unknowingly and or unnecessarily. And the way to fix it is to talk to a guy like him, and make sure you are really plugged in with somebody local. If you are, and on that point, and this is probably a different video, but I'm going to talk about it here a little bit, is
We didn't talk about that.
why would somebody need like a local versus a national agent? Because I know what we talk about all the time is like on a couple of these videos I've said like, oh, if you're local, you need to talk with somebody local, yet sometimes it can be national. So
Yeah.
why, and I know the reasons, but tell everybody why it's important to understand like the difference in the type of agent you want to work with.
Yeah, so I think where the lifestyle risk management strategy comes into play is that will lead you to the type of agent you need, right? So depending where you are, if you're in the high net worth market, there's a select group of carriers, probably anywhere from 5 to 8 national insurance companies that specialize in insuring that space. There's only a select group of brokers that have access to those insurance companies.
Okay.
So you could be working with a local broker that only has access to one of those carriers. So what you're losing out on the full market.
Gotcha.
So part of the strategy piece is to understand what am I looking for in a broker at this point in my life, and how do I go out and find them, and how do they then navigate that process to go to the insurance market. And so if you're in the high net worth space already, it's finding a broker who has access to the full market and can manage that insurance process and that strategy. Again, not every local broker is going to have that. They may, essentially it's carrier appointments, right? So they may not be appointed with any of the high net worth carriers.
And that's where you have that focus. You have the appointments with all the national carriers.
Through Avery Insurance, we're appointed with all the.
And you're in New Hampshire, but you insure people all over the country.
Correct.
Right.
In that space, it's unlimited where you can go because you have the fit.
Right.
Where if you're not yet in that space, again, the strategy piece behind it says, okay, well, here's how you have to identify a broker that really, maybe it's a regional broker or a local broker that has all of the local carriers. So if you're,
kind of like my co-op situation from a couple of videos ago.
Exactly.
Like you would never have that
I
access
wouldn't
to
have
that
access.
carrier.
Even though I'm in New Hampshire and you're in Vermont,
Sure.
I don't have that local piece. So understanding where you are is so important to find the right partner. And I think a lot of times people don't find the right partner for their needs.
Yep.
So now they're still seeing a product, but if you're in that high net worth space and your broker doesn't have access
Yeah.
to the high net worth, they're going to show you plenty of options.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be the right options for you. So that's where I think people really need to back it up, understand their lifestyle, what they're trying to accomplish, and then develop a strategy, go and find the other components.
Love it. I think that right there is like one of the most important, most valuable things, like how to find how to find the right agent for you.
Right.
I think we should just do another video just on that in case people didn't see this. But
Yeah, I'm here all week.
we're gonna do it. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure we're gonna create more content as I get inspired by talking to him, because he's here for the whole week and we're working on launching his other business. And so it's gonna be fun. I'm sure I'm gonna get inspired. I'm gonna be like, Nick, let's get to the studio. Let's make some videos.
Which it's an impressive studio, by the way. I've
pretty
got what do they call it? Studio Envy now.
That's awesome. So anyway, guys, I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, click that like button. Really appreciate it. Google, YouTube. They love the analytics of all that. It just really helps us out. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell, that way you get notified every time we launch a new video. And until next video, I hope you have a blessed, inspirational day, and we'll talk to you then. See you.